So this is your Achieving Goals workshop. I'll be going over some fundamental things that you need to apply to your life if you actually want to achieve your goals, stop self-sabotaging, understand your own values and belief system so that you can actually get further in life. And we'll talk about cognitive behavioural therapy as well. So strategies and techniques that you can use to rewire your brain in the way that you approach your life. So you're changing your perspective and just kind of stopping yourself in your tracks if you think you're going down the wrong path. So let's go straight into it. So who am I? Well, you might have heard my podcast, you might know a little bit more about me, where I share my own story. But just to touch on, I think it's really good that people know that I'm not just bullshitting. Everything I've gotten on here has been researched, but it's also been applied into my own life, and it's helped me overcome obstacles that I've come face to face with. So it works, and it's really up to you whether you apply it to make it work. We all have the answers. It's simple. We just don't do it. And it's the simplest thing. It's just action. Get off your ass. Go do what you need to do, and stop blaming external things, people, experiences for not achieving certain goals in life. The only person who controls where you are in life is yourself. So man up and do it. And that's just not like a stereotypical, like, oh, be a man and grow up. It's just, I look at that as a reference as get up and do something. Okay? And it's so important because I know that you can do so much. And you can achieve so much just by doing one little step a day. And only you can control that though. I can't walk you. I can't hold your hand all the way. I need you to give me something. So I'll be going over a few things. So the biggest thing for me is I grew up with, my dad left me when I was born. So that was pretty interesting. Also I have no idea who he is, by the way, where he lives, anything. My mother has spina bifida, so she can't walk. So when I was growing up, I had to grow up pretty quick. And that's not a bad thing. I'm pretty grateful that I had that opportunity to actually go through that adversity at the start of my life, because it's helped me develop a lot faster than other people. It's helped me want more out of life as well. And I think that's the main reason that I love helping people. I like giving people the opportunity to grow, not just physically, but mentally, internally and externally, because I had that opportunity, but I was very independent through that. I had people in my life who did inspire me and did help me, but I think if I can help inspire more people and show support that I didn't have, I can help you get to where I am and where I've been and where I'm going as well. Just by showing you a few strategies to change the way you think and feel. So why are you actually listening? What's the purpose? What do you want out of this? Are you questioning yourself? Do you really want to change, or are you too stuck into your own ways, I guess? Well, I'll tell you one thing first. You can always change, and you can always teach an old dog new tricks. But it's really up to you whether you make that conscious decision to try. So let's jump into understanding our own values and beliefs. So we can identify values as, what are values and beliefs? Values, an example would be self-direction. You value freedom and creativity. So for a life goal for you would be working towards a goal to have a life filled of more freedom when it comes to traveling or running a business. So you want a life where you're in control and you can still be as creative as you want. So that is a value in your life, and that's how you decipher the way that you're gonna set a standard for yourself. A belief, these can be identified as fundamental, inflexible and generalized beliefs that people hold about themselves, the world, and the future. So for instance, I believe the world is a beautiful place. I believe the people around me are wonderful and inspiring, and I believe the future holds a lot for me. Our beliefs and values are what make people successful, achieve their goals, and take them to a level that only they can get to with the right mindset. And it's super important to have the right values and belief system, because if you don't have that, you're not going to get where you want to get to. And you're going to continue to go down the wrong path with the wrong values and beliefs. A lot of people don't actually know what their values and beliefs are or how to create them. So this is a game changer for you today. In 1992, Dr. Schwartz presented 10 motivational distinct types of values as listed below. These values have been researched in many countries, and they've been found to be universal across cultural applications. So all around the world, these are the fundamental values that have always come back up and circulated to these top 10. That's not saying that you can't have your own values and create your own. You certainly can, but these are the main ones that have been brought up a lot. So your basic values, you've got self-direction, freedom, creativity, stimulation, exciting new life, daring new life, always an adventure, hedonism, pleasure, self-indulgence, achievement, ambitious, successful, power, so wealth, authority, security, so social order, family, security, cleanliness, conformity, which is politeness, self-direction, self-discipline, respect, tradition, respect for traditions, modest, humble, benevolence, loyal, responsible, helpful, and forgiving, universalism, so equality, wisdom, world of peace, social justice, protecting the environment. These lists, like I said, are just the top 10. You can have your own values and you can create your own, because it is about you and you are personalizing your own values, beliefs to work in a life that is suited to you. And these are the new standards you're setting yourself for life to make a real positive change. We have our sources of beliefs here, so where they come from. So evidence-based, logical, rational belief based on evidence that proves causation. So if it's a very sunny day, then you're going to sell more ice cream. So it's a knock-on effect. Tradition, so family, culture, traditions, authority normally developed from a parent or a mentor, or a teacher, or some kind of authority in your life. Association, which could be beliefs formed through people or groups we associate with. We have relevance, beliefs that are formed through divine intervention with a hunch or inkling. So very spiritual, I guess, in a sense. You just have a feeling, you know that's the right thing to do, or that's what you believe in. You just have that sensation. Everyone's had deja vu. Through deja vu, they're like, oh, they've experienced this before. And then you just do the same thing you did last time. You feel it, you know you've done it. And that's the same kind of thing. So we are going on to enabling beliefs and self-limiting beliefs. The biggest thing is people have a lot of limiting beliefs and they don't actually know that they do. So let's go over enabling beliefs first. So to keep it simplified, I am worthy, I am hardworking, I am confident. You can use affirmations to rewire the way that you think and feel to create more enabling beliefs versus limiting beliefs, because obviously we know in our unconscious mind that we have so many thought processes. I think the study was there's about 17,000 thoughts we have a day. Now if you've got limiting beliefs and you're constantly putting yourself down unconsciously, and what happens after that? And then your thought process goes into a negative mindset, negative actions or body language or speech, and then so on. So if we're reaffirming the way that we think and feel to be more positive and enabling us to be in a better, think better thoughts, speak better words, better body language, and then we're going to create better actions. Which path do you think is going to take you down the right road to see the wizard? We both know that it's gonna be enabling beliefs, positive, reaffirm, taking you down the right road, versus your limited beliefs, which you may have out of those 17,000, you may have like 5 or 10,000 that are negative. So what chance do you have of getting somewhere if you're constantly putting yourself down? You're just reaffirming where that belief is. So our main aim is to change that as well. So our limiting beliefs, I'm boring, I'm weak, I'm stupid. These basic beliefs will destroy you or they will help progress you. to reaching your goals or living a lifestyle that you want to live or be the person that you want to be. Our next is, mine is my recommended beliefs that I actually use. So this helps me get unstuck and continue to progress. So I have self-reliance, which is adopting the mentality to not look for someone to save you. If you're drowning, you need to learn how to swim, because if you're in the ocean, no one's coming. I really connect with that because that's been my life. Yes, I've had people around me, but there's been a lot of times where I haven't, and I've had to get myself out of my own hole when I had severe anxiety and severe depression. So that's really the biggest thing I think you need to understand, is you need to own your life, you need to be independent. Next is growth. So value the notion of getting or falling in love with the process of constantly learning. Get addicted to constant self-growth, because the more you learn, the more you develop yourself, the further you're going to go, not only towards you achieving your goals, but also in life. You know, like there's something they say, the more you learn, the more you earn. And it's true, because, you know, if you know so much, you can solve problems, you can identify issues, you can do things that other people can't do. You're not in the crowd of sheep anymore, you're the shepherd. So just keep that in mind. It just has a huge role in human potential, and it can help change you so much, just continuing to grow. Now, we also have resilience, so AKA toughen the fuck up. This is huge. Like, you know, without resilience, every obstacle you face will stop you in your tracks. So imagine every challenge you have in front of you that has an opportunity, and you stop at every challenge. You never make it past that challenge. So it's kind of like going towards a wall, a brick wall, and then not climbing over it and expecting the brick wall to just crumble. You're not getting anywhere until you jump over that brick wall. Jump over that brick wall, there's an opportunity for you. A life-changing opportunity for you to really live a happier life, because one, you're achieving goals, and two, you don't know where it's going to take you. So keeping that in mind, you have to treat pain as a reminder that it's time to push through, because there is something valuable on the other side. Now, anti-fragility, this means the more you are challenged, the better you get once you value encountering obstacles and learning from them instead of fearing them. So, you know, this is going to help you become more capable of becoming the best that you need to be. So if we, you know, we start to learn and we go, all right, cool, well, I've seen this challenge before, I can overcome that. Imagine there's 1,000 challenges just like that one, but you can overcome that really easily now. How much further ahead are you going to be compared to other people? You know, like, you need to keep that in mind. Get used to failing, get used to identifying challenges, get used to seeing the challenges and not freaking out and running away. Face them, don't fear them, overcome it, open that opportunity. So they are the, you know, my personal kind of like beliefs I think you should really have in your life. So we're going to jump into, you know, what is cognitive behavioural therapy. I reference this, so I'm going to just reference it off here, but if I could say it, so all you're doing with cognitive behavioural therapy is you're changing the way that you think and feel for a better life. You're stopping certain triggers that cause you to possibly go off the rails, and you're starting to identify your own behaviours, and that's going to help you change the way that you think and feel. There's techniques that you can use to have an instant change into your life if you suffer from anxiety or depression, and they are super helpful, and CBT's helped me quite a bit in my journey in life so far. So cognitive behavioural therapy is an effective treatment approach for a range of mental health and emotional health issues, including anxiety, depression, and you also do have OCD as well. The main aim of CBT is to help a person identify, challenge unhelpful thoughts, and learn practical self-help strategies, which is huge. If you can help yourself, then you can grow and you can keep moving forward. No one wants to be helpless. We all need to know how to challenge and tackle these obstacles that we do face. So these strategies are designed to bring about positive and immediate changes, which is huge. Stop going to a counter to get your medication where you can instantly change. It's going to help you have more control over your general emotions as well, which is a big one because a lot of people don't really have any emotional mastery. So with this, it can be beneficial to anyone who needs support to challenge unhelpful thoughts that are preventing them from reaching their goals or just living their life they want to live. Techniques can help with changing the way we think and feel to help actually achieve our goals by identifying our triggers to stop self-sabotaging habits. So now I'm going to go over a big one that I don't think a lot of people know. It's called cognitive distortions. So these are negative things that they call it faulty thinking that may be holding us back. So we've got filtering, which is focusing solely on the negative and ignoring all the positive, which we can all be quite guilty for at times. I'm 100% sure you are. If you're watching this, you've done it before. Polarized thinking, so black and white thinking, not seeing the grey, so there's nothing in between, it's this way or that way. You've got overgeneralization, assuming all experiences and people are the same based on one negative experience. You've now created a stereotype for a certain experience or person, and now that's that, and no one's gonna be different. That experience is not gonna be different. It's always gonna be bad, but really it's not. There's different. You can't just put a label on one thing and expect it all to be the same. Jumping to conclusions. Absolutely, you have been bad for it. Being convinced of something with little to no evidence to support it. Catastrophizing. Can't pronounce it, but that's alright. Assuming the worst case scenario and magnifying the negative and minimizing the positive. So you're instantly not even looking at the positive anymore and you're just looking at the negative, because the negative thing is the thing that you're attracted to realistically. As humans do, love drama. So keeping in mind that you need to keep a balance of positive and negative, but having a real awareness of not going down the road of going down that negative route, because then you'll just get overwhelmed and start thinking about the bad sides. You have personalization, so believing that you are at least partially responsible for everything bad that happens to you. Control fallacy, so thinking everything that happens to you is either all your fault or not your fault at all. Fallacy of fairness, being too concerned over whether everything is fair. Don't expect the world to work in your order. Just because Sally got an ice cream and you didn't doesn't mean that you still deserve an ice cream. You've got blaming, pointing to others when looking for a cause at any negative experience event instead of looking at yourself. So stop blaming other people when you are responsible. Shoulds, holding tight to your personal rules on how people ought to behave. Your expectation of someone else should not be an expectation you have. Just because someone acts in a certain way doesn't mean it's any of your business. So stop getting caught up in the little things. Emotional reasoning, believing if I feel it, it must be true. You're not. Yes, I believe in gut instinct, but it's not always going to be that way. So you can't expect everything to be true in a certain way. So you're not always right. You need to understand what's actually happening. Then we have fallacy of change, so expecting others to change to suit your needs or desires. The huge one you'll see in relationships, someone will instantly change the way that they are as a person to suit that other person in the relationship, which is fucking horrendous. you should not change who you are as a person, because then you have just changed your own values and belief system to suit someone else. If that person loves you or likes you, they will understand that that's who you are. You should never change who you are for someone else to suit someone else. If you have an expectation for someone to change in a relationship, to suit your lifestyle, that's fucking horrendous. Don't ever try and change someone to make your life easier or suit your needs more. It's not right. You've just taken away that person's opportunity to be the best that they can be, because you now put a limitation on how good they can be as a person or what direction they can follow. It's just it's just not the right way to go about it. Be who you are, let them be who they are. And just remember that you're independent, because the biggest thing is, if you're not independent and you're not happy yourself, you've got this expectation instantly that you're going to get happiness from them, and then they need to change and follow you around. So that's a big one. Global labeling, mislabeling, generalization, generalizing one or two instances into an overall judgment, using aggravated and emotionally loaded language. Always being right, believing that it is absolutely unacceptable to be wrong. We always know, we know plenty of people like that. There's always someone who thinks they're always right. Don't be that person. Student mentality all the time. Heavens, reward fallacy. So believing that any good act on your part will be repaid or rewarded. You can't do something good for someone else and expect to get something back. That's not right. Do something because it's good. Do something because it's nice, but don't do it with the intention that you're getting something out of it. And then we've got our CVD techniques to rewire and reset your brain. So there's a few things. These are mainly based on anxiety and depression, OCD kind of thing, but you can use these at times to reset yourself. So journaling, unraveling cognitive distortions, cognitive restructuring, exposure response prevention, interoceptive exposure, nightmare exposure, and re-scripting. Play the script until the end, progressive muscle relaxation, and relaxed breathing. Journaling can be a great way to identify and reflect on the moods or the way that you've been thinking and feeling that day, so that you can identify how you've been feeling, and then you can think, why was I feeling that way? And then you can start to change that way that you're thinking and feeling, and write some constructive criticism on how you can improve as a person. Unraveling cognitive distortions, so becoming aware of the distortions that you are likely vulnerable to, identifying what it is and which distortion that you are holding. Cognitive restructuring, challenge your harmful or destructive beliefs and restructure them. So if you have a really bad, horrible belief like you're always right, well, it's time to accept and understand that you're not always right and that you have a lot to learn. And start to think in that process like, yes, I need to learn more, because I'm always learning as a person. I am not always right. I may be right at times, but most of the time I am in a student mentality and I will continue to learn and grow. We've got our exposure and response prevention. Expose yourself to whatever it is that normally provokes a compulsive behavior. It could be drinking. You have a severe drinking problem like I did when I was younger, and that was my trigger to be compulsive. So taking away that trigger and replacing it with something else that is a positive, or just detaching yourself from that completely. Interoceptive exposure yourself to sensations you're afraid of and recognize they are not dangerous, which is huge. Nightmare exposure and re-scripting. Identify emotion caused by a nightmare and cultivate a new emotion to replace it. So the best way to explain that is a worst case scenario, thinking the worst case and then re-scripting yourself so that you can kind of identify that it's not as bad as you actually think. Play the script until the end, which can be a huge one. So that would mean more or less that if you've got a feeling like, oh, if I do this, this is going to happen, or if I take a chance, this is going to happen. Well, if you take the chance and you play the whole script out and you say, oh, well, worst case, this happens, then you know what's going to happen and it's not as bad as you thought. So playing the script so that you're not creating unnecessary anxiety. Progressive muscle relaxation. Relaxing each muscle in your body at a time until you've got a full body of relaxation. Breathing, relaxed breathing, so bringing regularity to breathing in a more controlled environment, slowing your heart rate down and just relaxing. So we've got a big one here. What is self-sabotaging? Behaviour is said to be self-sabotaging when it creates daily problems in life and interferes with long-standing goals. So if you've always been trying to get to a certain goal, but you find that you're constantly going through a circle or a loop, then that is probably because you are self-sabotaging yourself and holding yourself back from actually progressing. Could be many issues that cause this, but there's so many other things out there that may be the deeper rooted cause. So, you know, you could be chasing a goal for years, but until you identify what the real cause is and why you're actually sabotaging yourself, you're not going to overcome that. So a big thing is changing our values and beliefs so that we can start to think in a better way. And when we start to think and feel and act in a better way, we can overcome those self-sabotaging habits usually. So using your values, beliefs, identifying cognitive distortions and using CVD techniques and creating a structure will allow you to actually get past these issues usually. Why do we self-sabotage? There's so many different things, such as cravings for food, drinking, gambling, temptations that will come with painful costs to relationships and health. So I guess I was addicted to alcohol and covering up the feelings that I had when I was younger with my anxiety and depression. So that was my root cause, was anxiety and depression, and alcohol was the medicine that cleared it up for me. And so I like that feeling of feeling a numbness and not having to deal with my own emotions. So it could be a little bit more subtle, such as an accumulation of dysfunctional and distorted beliefs that may lead people to underestimate their capabilities. So not thinking that you're good enough and using bad self-talk. So the main issue may be with counterproductive behaviour is identifying where it might be coming from. So where is the root of the tree coming from is the biggest thing. Discipline and obsession, which is super huge. I think everyone has like a really horrible relationship with the word discipline. We instantly think of discipline as a bad thing that, you know, takes away from, I guess, just takes us away from people and experiences. That's what we think it is. But in reality, it creates more structure in our life and more freedom. So the meaning of discipline, as I've listed below, the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of conduct. I think we should reword discipline to self-discipline. And the reason I say that is because we're disciplining ourselves to be more accountable to reaching our goals and living a better life. So we're willing to work and put in effort so that we can do what we need to do to create our own self-fulfillment and fulfill our own personal legend. And I think we should reword self-discipline to self-love. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, start creating good relationships with words, because the words are gonna start to trigger you in certain ways. Even if you just hear a word, it could change your behavior in some cases. We also have the word obsession. The meaning of obsession is to be obsessed with someone or something. You know, like, that is a clear clarification on it, but I think you can still change that word to, if you're using it in a healthy relationship with your wording, to self-obsessed with personal growth. I just think it's a better way to look at it. You're more obsessed with being a better person and growing and developing your skills. Now, you know, just because a meaning has been created for a particular word, it doesn't mean that you can't change it. So most of the time we have a word that we don't like, oh, discipline. No, I can't have discipline. I want to live a free life. If you have discipline in your life and you structure your life, you find out how much extra time you have, which creates freedom, and you get shit done, which creates self-fulfillment. And it also creates progress and achievement because you're now structuring yourself in life to do what you need to do, and you've also got free time. So it's not a lose situation, it's always a win. Look at the most successful people in the world. They all have discipline, they all have obsession, and they've all achieved what they want to in life. They're still achieving things, and they also have that freedom in life as well. So it's a good thing to keep in mind with obsession and discipline. So just start to, you know, really question yourself and what do you think these words mean? And do you have a good relationship with these words? A huge one, you're gonna die and you don't know when. I think this is a huge one. I think everyone needs to be motivated by death because you are gonna die and you don't know when. So stop sitting on the couch watching Netflix for fucking 6 hours in a row. Get out. Stop blaming the world for you not being where you're supposed to be in life. You've done nothing. I want you to get off that couch, start achieving shit, doing good shit, and acting like this is the last 24 hours in your life. Start doing shit because it might be. You don't know. It's huge. Use death as a motivation to keep you fired up and living each day like it was your last. I'm not, like, people think I'm full on. I haven't even warmed up yet. I think I don't live my 24 hours enough. Yet I know for fucking sure I do a lot more than the average Joe. So just keep in mind, just keep that in mind. Like, you have 24 hours to start living your life. I'm up at 4. I'm in bed by 10. In between, I do what I gotta do. I'm a health and fitness editor for a magazine. I have an app. I have 2 businesses. I've met the Queen. I've traveled to 26 countries. And I'm just warming up. So just keep that in mind. You can achieve so much in 24 hours. Everyone has 24 hours. And the idol that you have in your life, use that 24 hours right to be where they want to be today. And you can be whatever you want to be in life, but you have to utilize this. Who do you want to be? And it's a huge one. When I heard this, it kind of really changed my perspective. Because let's paint a picture, for example. So you're an actor, you can be whoever you want to be in life, just like the movies. Each actor has their role, they choose that role, you can choose your own role in life. There's no limits, and you can become whatever you want to be. So who will you choose to be, is the biggest question. Anyone. Stop thinking about the limitations, drop any self-doubt, drop any negative self-talk, and I want you to write on a piece of paper who you want to be. Who do you want to be as a person through your values and beliefs? What do you want to achieve through business, personal, whatever it may be? And how do you want to change the world? This isn't just health and fitness. This isn't just goals. This is life. I want you to be the best person you can be outside the gym as well. So just think, we are the main actors in our own movies and we can be whatever we want to be, but it's up to us to put in the effort because what we put in is what we get out of life. So you just need to keep that in mind. Ask yourself, all right, sweet, did I do enough today to keep my role as the main actor in my movie? If you say no, It means you better start doing something and getting some things ticked off before you go to bed. Don't say tomorrow, just do it then. Act as if you were the main actor in a movie. Just think, every action you take inspires someone else to be better. So start inspiring more by being a leader. So standards versus expectations, which is pretty huge. I really project this to a lot of people because I think it's huge. Everyone has expectations, but no one really has standards these days. And you know, you think of standards as, oh, I want to be with this type of person. No, standards for yourself, for your independency as a person. What do you want to be like as a person? And what standards are you going to follow? And if you don't follow them, well, are you going to be accountable? So with standards, as an instant example would be, you set yourself a standard in life. If you don't follow that standard, you take full accountability in identifying what you haven't done and what you need to do if you actually want to achieve your goals. And guess what? Only you can do it. So you get over it and you move on and you continue to make steps forward. Versus expectations, you expect everyone to do everything for you and you don't get anywhere or do something in a particular time frame, aka never, and you blame everyone and everything for your current situation and you get stuck for how long, who knows. I've had so many clients come to me on their first session and say, I've been putting this off for 10 years. So you've wasted 10 years thinking about it. That's all I heard. So you've used the excuse of external factors, people, things, experiences to stop you from working on yourself for 10 years. I'm glad as hell that you're listening to this now because I hope this message gets through. No one is going to do it for you. So take down that expectation and set yourself a standard. Be accountable. And it's huge. Like, just remember, you've got so much in you. You can achieve so much. But you got to do something. Now, use your values and beliefs to set yourself a standard. Identify the person you want to be, setting your values and beliefs. So, getting those enabling beliefs, stopping the self-limiting beliefs, using values. Scroll back through this slide if you want to look at your values and belief examples again. This will also require you to actually have discipline. So values, beliefs, discipline. So doing it, committing to it, self-love, yeah. And then actually achieving your goals. So everything from what you get out of this workshop, you can apply into your life. And if you apply it in your life, I can guarantee you'll start kicking ass and achieving shit. You'll be a fucking new person. But you have to do it. Taking action. If you haven't gotten this from me yet, take action. You know, great. You've now learned how to build the foundation for a house. Now it's time to build the house. Just think, action is the gap between success and failure. And if you don't start crossing that bridge, you're not going to get there. Like I said, walk, start stepping, get moving. Oh, it's not the right time. It's never the right time. Oh, I've got a family, so does everyone else. Oh, I don't think I can. Well, start thinking you can. Oh, I just don't have the money. No one had the money at the start. Every successful person was broke or in debt. I was homeless throughout my business at one point. And guess what? I still went to work. I showered at work. I did what I had to do to build my business back up. And guess what? I got where I needed to be. I still have goals for sure, but I'm ticking off goals as I go. Every excuse is an objection. Identify your objection and solve it. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting another 10 years like everyone else. So start doing it, because you can do so much. So just remember, like, you know, the only thing that's going to get you to your goals is action. Now, over celebrating our wins. It can be a huge one. We need to celebrate our wins, and we need to be proud, and we need to be content. But we don't need gratification of other people. Internal contentment, external gratification. Stop the gratification, keep the internal contentment. People are going to compliment you on your success, and people are going to aspire to be like you if you're at a level where they want to be at. But people are also not going to give a fuck, and they're also going to be jealous as fuck. So understand that you achieving shit is great, but you have to keep moving forward. Otherwise, you're going to celebrate for too long, and then you're going to embrace all this gratification that you're getting from other people. And by the time you stop embracing gratification, then you're 20 steps behind. Someone loses 50 kilos. That's amazing effort, by the way. They get this gratification, and then they start telling the story of how they lost 50 kilos, which is great. But you've told the story 100 times. It's been 2 years later, and you stopped at that 50 kilos, and then you put it back on. This one time, no, stop living in the past, continue moving forward. Think about the present, look to the future, and think, wow, I've got a lot ahead of me. I can learn so much. I'm going to achieve so much, but for now, I'm going to keep working. Because that's what's going to get you to your goals. If you stop, start, you'll never keep that momentum, and you'll constantly idle. So just keep going. Keep focused. So setting goals that we actually want to achieve versus just setting goals. So are you setting goals for other people's gratification? Or are you setting goals for your own self-development and personal legend? You know, that's huge. Like, why? Is it because you got bullied in high school? So everyone said that you were fat. So you want to lose all this weight. Now, are you training to be a better person and show people that, you know, you can be whatever you want to be in life? Or are you training to lose weight because you're self-conscious that people are going to look at you like you're fat forever? Break it down, break down your reasons, start to identify why you're actually training and what you're actually working towards, and how you can work more towards self-contentment and working towards your own personal legend, which I'll explain in a second, to be the best you can be versus working to always please other people, which is huge. Self-love is everything. You need self-love. Don't expect to get it from anyone else. So, and start to think about, like, how will you feel once you accomplish these goals? Because once you can start to identify and envision how you're going to feel, then you're going to be able to be like, all right, sweet, well, this makes me feel this way, and I don't really feel too pleased about it. So maybe you're not working towards it with the right purpose or intention. So start to think about something else and start to identify what's really going to amp you up and why. It's good to have motivation and prove people wrong, don't get me wrong. I thrive off that. Whoop, I've nearly fallen. I thrive off that. But, you know, I still know my purpose and my passion, which is helping people to be the best that they can be. And continuing my own self-development so that I can feel proud of myself as a person, and so that I can educate other people to be their best versions. Your self-contentment is everything. So creating a structure. Without a structure, we can't reach our goals. So for instance, have you ever tried to go on a holiday without planning absolutely anything? Maybe you have. Maybe it was fun. But you still have to think about what clothes you were going to bring, maybe. Where you're going to go. How you're going to get there. What you're going to eat. What you're going to do. There's always planning. So no planning at all doesn't exist, does it? So that's what structure is. Structuring the road to your own success, following that yellow brick road to the wizard. So structure your goals with your goal setting sheet that you've all got. Big one, download Google Calendar. It's free. I live off it. It is so helpful. So you structure in that Google Calendar, waking up, what you're going to do in between everything, whether that be work, exercise, self-development, eating, lunch, whatever, and then going to bed. Structure everything because that's going to show you how much time you have. And I can guarantee you've got a lot more time than you think. Oh, it's like, don't have time in the mornings. You get up at 8 a.m. You have plenty of time in the mornings to get up. If you want it, you'll do it. Stop making excuses. You have plenty of time. So, big one to take from that slide, download Google Calendar, fill out your goal setting sheet, create that structure. Visualization, I can't emphasize how much visualization has helped me. It's like everything I have in my life is because I've visualized it. There's science back stuff on visualization. Every successful person, millionaire, billionaire, actor, whatever, all do it. Have done it, still do it. Everything in life, I live in a nice house because I visualized it. I have gotten to my goals because I visualized it. I have moved out of my old town because I visualized it. I've met the Queen because I visualized it. Everything I have in life, I visualized it. So you need to start to thinking about how's it going to make you feel when you achieve your goals? Where are you going to be when you achieve your goals? Who's going to be around? What the environment's going to be like? Picture everything, the smell, the experience, your feelings, and then you'll start to actually rewire your brain to actually working towards achieving it. So, have you ever had a moment where you've thought about something so much, and it's happened, maybe when you were younger, you've dreamed about it every night, you've thought about it, you've written about it, and then you achieved, you got it, it appeared. I remember when I was a kid and I wanted a scooter so bad, but we couldn't afford one. And it was crazy because I was just thinking about it. I wished for this scooter every night. I visualized it. I thought about how it'd feel when I'm riding it, what it'd look like, who I'd ride with, and just how happy I would be to get this scooter. And I think it might have been 3 weeks later, and I thought about this every day and night, so much. 3 weeks later, I went to my grandmother's house and she got all the kids a scooter. And I've never felt so happy in my whole life. And it was the exact experience that I was thinking about every night. And it was just like I learned how to ride a bike. And I started riding a bike. So it's just so beneficial. You can use it for relationships, business goals, health and fitness goals, whatever you want. Take 5 to 10 minutes each night to visualize what you want to achieve, what it's going to feel like, and maybe when it's going to happen too, which is really huge, adding a date. So resetting your mind in 5 minutes. Breathe in, breathe out 10 times, in through the nose, out through the mouth. When we're breathing in, we're going down to our bottom of our belly, spinning our belly and our lower back like a balloon, and then slowly breathing out through the mouth, nice and controlled. Think of 5 grateful things and be thankful for them. Say 5 affirmations, and this is going to help you change your thought process. So, I'm successful, I'm confident, enabling beliefs, yeah? So, smile like a weirdo in the mirror. Smiling's going to help you change your mood. Just smile. I'm feeling happy just smiling right now. And I bet you're smiling too. If you're not, you're going to think I'm a weirdo, but guess what? I'm happy. Your actions define how you are as a person. So if you start smiling and then you just start laughing, then you're going to be happy. So just be weird. reset yourself. Remember your mission and purpose, and do all these things outside or in a secluded place so that you do feel comfortable. And I can guarantee you it's going to work. If it doesn't, it's because you haven't smiled like a weirdo. So now it's accepting obstacles as opportunities. So just understanding that life wasn't meant to be easy and free-flowing. Life was meant to have obstacles. And the sooner we accept that obstacles are opportunities, the quicker the progress to our goals, and the quicker we actually get to living our life with less anxiety and depression. And just remember, just because you're optimistic doesn't mean that you're just obsessed with being positive. It doesn't mean that you're just like, oh no, negativity doesn't exist. No, it means that you've accepted the negativity is there, but you've moved past it. You know it's there. Well, what? You're going to change the world in 2 seconds? No. Maybe one day you'll change the world. But don't have this instant responsibility. Oh, this was on the news, this was on the news, this was here, this was here. Yes, you might be able to change it one day, but not now. So until that day comes, do it. But for now, be optimistic, be positive, focus on yourself, because if you can't fix yourself and work on yourself, you're not going to change the world. And don't be a vacuum, which is a huge one. Stop being an emotional vacuum for other people. Set up a boundary, set up a barrier. Those people can come to the barrier. If they go underneath, no, you just kick them out. Don't keep sucking in other people's shit. Keep yourself safe. Keep yourself content. Master your own emotions. You can't help everyone. People don't become independent unless they go through their own struggles and their own development. Otherwise, they don't appreciate where they get to. You can't hold everyone's hand because no one appreciates it in the end, because you're just spoon feeding people. You can't get a gold medal at the Olympics just by going. They've got to work hard to win it. So this is a huge one for me, and this is one of the things in life that really changed my perspective from being very depressed and very anxious in life, severely, I will add. And it really did just change my whole thought process. It influenced me to move to London just by reading a book called The Alchemist. So before I talk about The Alchemist, let's talk about personal legend. So every day we have the opportunity to fulfill our own personal legend. We're offered opportunities every single day to actually develop and improve ourselves and experience new things in life. Stop saying no to opportunities because you're scared of change and being uncomfortable and being the dumbest person in the room. Doesn't matter. I couldn't read in high school till year 10, and I was labelled as having an intellectual disability. I run 2 businesses. I'm pretty successful. My personal belief is right now I'm successful. I've earned 6 figures. That's nothing though. That's not what I want to achieve. I want to achieve more than that. Financial gain is only a platform for me to help influence people to be better. By the way, this isn't just me hungry for money. This is me creating a platform where I can influence people to be the best version of themselves every day. And I want to save so many lives. Because if I can help someone who was in the same predicament as me when I was younger, then I'm complete. Like, my soul is happy. Now, just keeping in mind, like I said, I was super silly, and I built myself up from nothing to something. I'm still going, but from where I came from, huge step. So just remember, who cares if someone thinks you're dumb? Be uncomfortable, feel like you're not comfortable in any situation, do new things, experience more, take opportunities, take risks, do more than just being comfortable, because comfortability is not going to take you anywhere in life, just down an unhappy and lonely road. So just keep showing up, keep pursuing your life with enthusiasm and discipline to reaching your goals. Look for new opportunities every day to say yes to, and that's going to move you towards your goals. And read the book called The Alchemist. It is, the book has been, it's been placed into so many different languages all around the world. It's the most book that's been transcribed into different languages around the world. And it's one of the hugest books that's been sold internationally. It's been on the New York Times bestseller. And the author is just so inspirational, and his words and his story that he's created for The Alchemist is just incredible. If I didn't read this book, I wouldn't be filming this right now. It's just life-changing, and I just urge you to read it. So the student mentality, a huge one. Like I've said a million times, don't think you're the smartest in the room. Just keep that perspective, you've got more to learn. Never be the smartest person in the room, because you'll only fail. Failure is good, but not if you think you can't learn from it. 1 hour a day towards self-development puts you 365 hours ahead towards mastering a new skill, learning a new course, reading a number of books per year that could even answer questions that you've had in life. Just remember, a book holds, say, 10 to 50 years worth of life experience that you could learn from in a month or a week or a day if you're really good at reading. You know, and these could be things you've been searching for years that could take you to that next level to actually achieve your goals. So never be the smartest person in the room, and continue to grow mentally and physically, of course. So, I will attach your goal setting workshop, which I've already recorded, underneath this video, where you can go straight into your goal setting sheet, fill it out, go through the goal settings workshop video, and you'll be able to not only just achieve goals now, but you're now going to be able to rewire your brain and change the way that you pursue goals in life. If you use the values and belief system, you use cognitive behavioural therapy, you change your perspective with the analogies that I've used and the passion that I've brought, you can really change your life. And I really mean that so much, and it may be honest and upfront, and it may be overwhelming, but the truth of the matter is that you can do so much, and it's just crazy, just like what you can do with everything. Last but not least, if you don't follow me on Instagram, get some ideas on exercises to do. I post a bunch of exercises. Facebook, if you don't follow me, go on there. I'll have free events around the coast. I am organising events in other areas as well, so the community can meet up in other towns, which I'm excited about. I've got a weekly email which you can subscribe to, and you're already all a part of the online community. So that is it for me. If you need to rewatch this video, rewatch it, take some time, and just remember, identify the main actor that you want to be in life. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.